All right, we're finally live. So I want to talk about earlier today we had the Mooresville house explosion. The father of a current NFL player passed away, unfortunately. And when I saw this, I just thought of this is deja vu to when I was 13 years old, where the San Bruno pipeline explosion, not far from where I grew up, maybe about 45 minutes away from where I grew up. I was 13 years old at the time. I remember it like I don't want to say I remember it like it was yesterday, but I remember it pretty well. And I remember in the days that followed, people were all worried because they were like, "Oh, that could happen to me." But anyways, I'm going to talk about the parallels between these two incidents. And first off, actually, let me pull up my channel for a second, because I actually did a video on this, revisiting the San Bruno pipeline explosion. Go watch that video when you have the chance. I'm just going to go over some brief stuff here about what I talked about in that video. Oh, that's unfortunate. I had the window up with all the words that I wanted to put on here, but then I accidentally closed the window. And then when I brought it back, the phrases and words that I had down here did not show up. But anyways, let me reiterate. This is on September 9th. September 9th is the day leaving 113 days left in the year. Actually, you know what? Since I just have it open, let's just watch the video.
Tomorrow, September 9th, will be the 12-year anniversary of the San Bruno pipeline explosion. As tragic and devastating as this event was, I will explain, using Jamal behind it, and how it connects to the San Francisco Giants winning the World Series later that year. First off, September 9th, 2010 was a date with 28 and 48 numerology. Explosion equals 48, and PG&E, who was blamed for the mishap, equals 28. September 9th is also the day leaving 113 days left in the year, which is known as the number of dishonesty. Now, how does this connect to the Giants? San Francisco Giants and San Bruno, California match in 3 of the 4 base ciphers. San Bruno, CA also has some nice baseball connections.
Okay, let me just pause it there, because one thing that I had up here before the page, before I accidentally closed the page, San Bruno. We do San Bruno, CA. So there we go. 108 double stitches on a baseball, 162 games in a season. Actually, let me do, Major League. San Bruno in Major League Baseball. So we see 162, 63, 162, 63. And I think and then baseball as well. You see all the connections?
On September 9th, 2010, the Giants played the San Diego Padres. The Giants won for the 79th time that season, keeping the Padres on 79 wins. San Diego Padres equals 79, and Society of Jesus also equals 79 in the same cipher. Society of Jesus also equals 56, and the last time the Giants had won the World Series was 56 years prior, in 1954. The final score of that game was 7-3. 73 is the 21st prime number, and Jesuit equals 21. The explosion occurred 48 days before Game 1 of the World Series.
I just want to pause it there because later in this stream I'm going to talk about how the Mooresville explosion today also ties into the World Series this year.
And 53 days before they eventually won the World Series. PG&E equals 53. It was also the Giants' 53rd season in San Francisco. PG&E also equals 8, and the last time they had been to the World Series was 8 years prior. Additionally, it is reported that 8 people died as a result of the explosion. I hope that's a coincidence, but you never know with these psychopaths that rule over us. When the Giants defeated the Phillies to advance to the World Series, they had 99 wins on the season, just like how the explosion occurred on 9/9. The Giants won that game 3-2, and San Bruno equals 32.
Okay, something that I want to pull up. Actually, let me go back to
game 3-2, and
okay. You got Jesuit San Bruno, where YouTube headquarters are. Remember the other year they had Caltrain train number 506 had that crash into a maintenance truck. That was a ritual for the Warriors winning the NBA title later that year. Here we go. San Bruno 32 and 112. 32 sunrays on the Jesuit logo. Jesuits claim to operate in 112 countries. Again, San Bruno, it's where YouTube headquarters are. You think this town isn't suspicious? But if we look going back to that 2010 NLCS between the Giants and the Phillies, they won that final game 3-2 to advance to the World Series, getting their 99th win of the season. Now, what I had on here before, we do this 9/9/2010 to 10/23/2010. 44 days, like kill. Well, look at that. 1 month and 14 days. I had just talked about, let me see if I can find the slide. Okay, here we go. 114. San Francisco Giants 114, San Bruno, California 114. This is something I did not address in this video, but something to think about. September 9th so it says here the day leaving 113 days left in the year, but it's also the 114th to last day left in the year. And if you're not sure what I mean by that, let me do December 30th, for example. To say December 30th, we know is the second to last day of the year. But here it says it's 1 day remains left in the year. So with that logic, we know that September 9th is the 114th to last day of the year. Although I think the 113 days remaining is more important. And, okay, so I was just talking about San Francisco Giants 114, also San Bruno, California. Let me just pull that up here just to show you. There we go. 114s. Also, I think the real name of PG&E. Let me just do PG&E just to show you. The real name of PG&E is Pacific Gas and Electric. That also has 112. Is 337 a prime? 68th prime. I have to think about that for a second. But anyways, 112. Or is it just like San Bruno? And if you do Pacific Gas and Electric, I'll touch on 129 in a second. It's really called Pacific Gas and Electric Company, that I'll show you here. No, PG Pacific Gas and Electric Company is what it's really called. Or 129 is important to the Jesuits. I could have sworn there was something else with 129, but maybe I'm just misremembering. But 129 is 201 in base 8. Let me just base 8 to base 10. So 120, 129, 201. And of course, the Jesuit Order 201. Yeah, and there you go. The Jesuit Order 84, just like San Bruno, California. Anyway, okay, so sticking, I lost track, but anyways, 114. Let's look at how the Giants did in the 2010 playoffs. So they won their first series against the Braves 3-1. They won their second series against the Phillies 4-2. So that's 7-3. And then they beat the Rangers 4-1. So 7-3 plus 4-1 is 11-4. So they win their first World Series title by going 11-4 in the playoffs. And now back to this. From the day that they, well, I forgot what I was going to say. From the day of the explosion to the day that they clinched a World Series berth was 1 month and 14 days. Also, 44 days like kill, like I was just talking about. But that's also, shoot, I just lost my train of thought. It had to do with there was something about that game against the Padres, and now I can't remember. Oh, it'll come back to me, don't worry. Okay, anyways, so we were just talking about 44. Then until Game 1 of the World Series that year, it was 48 days. It's also 6 weeks and 6 days. We're going to touch on 66 in a little bit. 48. There was a 48 in here somewhere. Where was it? Oh, I forgot to write it up. Explosion, 48. Oh, an explosion's another 129. There we go. I was talking about 129 just a minute ago. There you go. Explosion, Pacific Gas and Electric Company, Pacific Gas and Electric. Also explosion like San Francisco Giants and San Bruno, California. 48. Oh, and explosion's also 114. Yeah, sorry, shoot. I was just talking about that. I'm losing my train of thought, aren't I? Hold on, let me check, see if anyone's in the chat. That's true. There are no coincidence. I'm not sure exactly what you're saying. There are no coincidences. All things coincide. I don't know if everything coincides, but I'm a little frustrated because there's something I was just thinking about with that. Okay, back to, anyways. Let me go to the 2010 World Series. I was just talking about how it's 48 days until Game 1 of that World Series, just to show you here. And then they won it on 11/1. And we're going to talk about 11/1 in a little bit. That was 53 days. And 53, PG&E 53. And also what's interesting about 111 is that the Giants started out in New York. And I talked about New York a lot this year because of the cricket tournament, New York 111. Okay, I want to go back to this video just to finish it out.
Just like how the explosion occurred on 9/9. The Giants won that. September 9th, 2010 was also California's 160th birthday, and 53 is the 16th prime number, and most of the impact was on the 1600 block of Glenview Drive. 2010 was the year of the 106th World Series. Remember, in numerology, the zeros are disregarded. The explosion occurred on Earl Avenue, which equals 41, just like how the Giants won the World Series 4-1. 41 is the 13th prime number, and the final score of Game 5 was 1-3. The score is more commonly referred to as 3-1, and 31 is the 11th prime number, just like how the explosion occurred 11 minutes after the hour. And to rub it in...
And also, I just noticed this while I was scanning the Wikipedia article. They say it registered a magnitude 1.1 earthquake. How about that?
The parade was held on 11/3, just like how the explosion occurred on the day, leaving 113 days left in the air. And as I said earlier...
Isn't that just mockery? Moving on.
113 is the number of dishonesty. Thank you for watching.
Okay, now, second thing, on to Mooresville. Actually, I do want to go over one. Was there? I forget. Was there? Okay, no, there wasn't. But okay, I remember what it was now that I was going to talk about. So let me go back to the day that they had clinched a berth in the World Series. Was there? I forget. Was there a 293 in here? No, there wasn't. Okay. The reason why I was looking for 62. 62, well, let's look at Zach's article here because he has it pretty concise. Yeah, and I was just talking about 201 and 129 earlier. 62. We'll type this up. Mooresville, 62. Mooresville, NC, just like Major League, we'll get to that in a second. North Carolina. Okay, 62. Like how from when the Giants, or from when that explosion happened to when the Giants won the National League, 6 weeks and 2 days. 63. Who was the team that the Giants played in the World Series that year? Oh wait, it was the Texas Rangers. What season? Texas Rangers are in their 63rd season right now. And of course, they're managed by Bruce Bochy, who was the manager of the 2010 Giants. I don't need base A, right? What tab should I be on? And they say it was on... Oh, and the guy's son, or the guy's dad, whatever perspective you're looking at it, he was born on 11/2. And I was just talking about all the 112s here. Pacific Gas Electric, or Pacific Gas and Electric, if you put the ampersand sign, in San Bruno, both 112, like 112 sun rays in the Jesuit logo. And also, Mooresville, NC matches up nicely with Major League Baseball and Major League. Just to show you here. I'm not sure where the 189 comes in. Mooresville, North Carolina is also 122, like San Francisco, 122. But also I want to touch on the date numerology of today and the distance to Game 1 of the World Series. Now, funny enough, the World Series this year will have the exact same schedule as the 2010 World Series, even though they're starting on different days of the week. It'll be the same dates, like Friday, October 27th to Saturday, November 4th, or Game 5 will be on Wednesday, November 1st. 2010 World Series started on the 27th, Game 5, November 1st. Again, they're different days of the week, but they've kind of shifted the World Series schedule around, and it's the same dates. Anyways, I want to see the date numerology of today, but it's not letting me. Okay, look at this, 66 days. Going back to here, from the San Bruno explosion to Game 1 of the World Series was 6 weeks and 6 days. Why is that important? Because Texas is 66. There's a huge number with Texas. For example, current Governor Greg Abbott was born on the 317th day of the year. That's the 66th prime. The Battle of the Alamo ended on March 6th, which was in a leap year, which means it was the 66th day of the year. And there's more to it. But anyway, 66 days from today until Game 1 of the World Series. Texas equals 66. Now, going back to here, we got 72, Mooresville, NC, 72, until the potential end date of the World Series is a span. Okay, here we go. We got the date numerology stuff. This is important because I want to bring this up. Span of 72 days until the potential end date of the World Series. Mooresville, NC, 72. Is there... Maybe there's something with 71 that I don't know yet, but I want to talk about the date numerology of today. 53. That was important in the previous section where I was just talking about PG&E 53 and how it was the San Francisco Giants' 53rd season in San Francisco. $131. 131 is the 32nd prime number. And as I was just saying, 32 sun rays on the Jesuit logo, San Bruno 32. I don't believe there's... Oh, one thing that I forgot to pull up. They said was Lake Norman. Lake Norman. So 41, like how the 2010 World Series ended 4-1. Also 166, like Secret Society. I lost my train of thought. Oh, that's right. 131 is the 32nd prime. One thing that I want to show is if I search Texas Rangers playoff record. 21 and 31 in the postseason all time. Now, just want to see, I'm pretty sure the Rangers are still in the division lead. Okay, it's getting close, but as of right now, the Rangers are still in the division lead. If the Rangers finish first or second in the American League, that means they'll only need 11 wins to win the World Series, and they have 21 right now, which means if they finish with the 1 or 2 seed, and if they eventually win the World Series, they'll get their 32nd playoff win. We'll see if that happens. And also that has 35-day numerology, or the 305th day of the year. I know Zach had mentioned 35. I obviously know Catholic use 35 and 46. I don't know if I have anything else. I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts out. Just reading the chat here. I like that you guys are having a conversation. Thanks for tuning in. Did Zach have something about 41 in this article? Well, that has more to do with Hawaii. Yeah, I think that's it for now. If there's anything else, I'll either do another stream at some point or make a video about it. But those are just my thoughts. Again, these explosions, 13 years apart, 41's 13th prime, they seem very related. Actually, one thing I want to check the Mooresville and see. I want to check the coordinates, see if that's significant at all. It became a city on 3/3. There we go. It's on the 35th parallel. Yeah, 35th parallel. That was the thing with 35. And the World Series could end on 35 date numerology. Okay, that was the 35 connect. I don't know if Zach mentioned that in here. Mooresville's on the 35th meridian. Or sorry, not meridian, parallel. Anyways, I think that's enough for now. Catch you later.